why. I've always really liked that. My favorite line in the movie is that guy's line where he says, "What are you gonna do with those pies, boys?"
Nice.
My favorite scene was
Give her the mic.
where everybody's waiting for the bus and the clown is doing the shadow puppet.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's my favorite.
That's a good one too.
Yeah. What about you?
Okay. How did you do the scene with the... How did you control the visual effects when Slim was doing the shadow puppets?
Well, to be honest with you, none of us here did those visual effects because we were actually performers, and then, but the Kyoto brothers who created the film, they're actually amazing visual effects guys. They do that kind of stuff, and so I wish I could tell you. Does anybody know exactly how they did that gag on the wall?
No, but they just did it again with even more interesting puppets.
Okay.
So when we shot the scene, was it? Were you doing it?
I was doing the hand.
So
Yeah.
so I was in the car with Dave, right? Right? Is that right? And you were just
I
standing
just did
there
hands.
doing this, but you couldn't see anything on the wall.
No.
All that was
They
done
Added later.
later in post.
We had to imagine.
I have another question. So, when is the Killer Clowns game gonna come out?
Yeah, Grant, tell us.
You know the trailer. We just watched the trailer, and I think it probably did it say coming? Want me to look and see? I'll look and see. We'll find out in a few minutes. I think probably says it in the trailer, but we just watched the trailer at lunch. Have you seen the trailer yet?
Yeah. I have one more question. How many performers were... Hold on. How many killer clowns were in the movie?
There were, I think, about 5 regular ones, and then, except for crowd scenes, they would bring more people in. But Harrod and I both were in half a dozen clown costumes, because depending on what they wanted, if they wanted more running action, I was in it. If they wanted somebody taller to be next to the person, Harrod did it. So we were kind of all over the place. But I found on a regular basis, maybe 5 or 6.
But in one scene, there would be like 15 or 15.
Yeah.
Right. Except
With the wedding, with the cake.
Yeah, with the ending scene, they had a lot of. They had like 20 people there in costume on that day, but for the most part, there was only like 5 or 6 on a regular basis.
A big challenge.
So I counted all of them, and there was.
You did.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
So my question is, we've been hearing and seeing these rumors about a sequel or the Killer Clowns from Outer Space 3 in 2023. We were wondering, when is that going to come out, and if y'all can release a good trailer of it or perform a scene from it by any chance.
From the sequel or from the game?
According to Google, like, we've been seeing these little advertisements and rumors of a Killer Clown from Outer Space 3 coming out in 2023.
We haven't made 2 yet. We're still on 1. So listen, we've all got our fingers crossed. I guess you know the expression, we don't want to get over our skis. We don't want to get ahead of ourselves, because we've thought there was going to be a sequel many times over the years and come very close and not have it happen. But we're hoping that the video game that's coming out is going to finally be the thing that kind of generates that extra bit of interest that kind of puts us over the,
Nice.
kind of gets us over the hump and gets it made. So knock on wood, all your guys' kind of love for the movie and everything is what's been driving it, and we're hoping it happens soon. But I wish we had something more definitive to tell you, but we just don't. But we're all really hoping it happens soon and optimistic.
And there are scripts.
Yes.
There are scripts.
I wrote one that I developed with the Kyoto brothers, but I think that they worked on other versions as well. So we're just hoping something gets made, and we're hoping that the video game is. We're all hoping the video game is that thing that kind of pushes because everybody's always, you have to understand, studio executives have never really gotten Killer Klowns. They're shocked that it's done the business that it's done, right? They think it's so offbeat and quirky that they don't think that they don't look at it like they would have something like a Friday the 13th, this more direct horror. So, every time they put something out, whether it's a piece of merchandising or the little pop-up toys or the costumes, they all sell out immediately. So they're like, oh, but they still can't get it through their heads, right? Because they think in a very structured way. If you know what I mean? They don't think in a Killer Klowns way. But the whole idea now is if the video game comes out, which is mainstream and sells like a mainstream video game, then that's going to be the thing that finally makes them go, oh, you know what I mean? Because that's what they need is a little bit of a knock on the old cellar door.
And one last question. So I was wondering, what do you have for these young actors that, what if they want to perform for a Killer Clown if there's going to be a sequel or a second or third?
You mean, are there going to be auditions?
Yeah, auditions, yes, sir.
I'm sure there will be, but until we know that there's actually going to be a movie and the production gets set up, I wouldn't know where to say to go to do it. But I'm sure you will hear some sort of an announcement long before the movie is being made. They'll probably put something out that says, because that's what happens is when the movie starts to come together, there'll be like press announcements that come out, Killer Klowns From Outer Space, the sequel finally being made, and then you can kind of look further along and see who's the studio, and try to get in contact and to try to audition for something.
My question is, how long did it take then? What was it like to wear the special effects makeup and the costumes?
Sometimes it was a process. When I did the floating clown thing that knocks the car off the road.
No, the makeup and stuff on the faces and stuff.
They had to put the costume around the contraption I was on, so that took them 2 hours to put me in there. The makeup was pretty simple because it was just a mask. The masks then were different than how they are now because they were a thick latex rubber, and so we had to press our face into it and move it around to the point to where we could see, and then they would seal up the back.
Airplane glue.
Yeah. So sometimes it was fast, and depending on what was going on, sometimes it took a long time. If it was just to put the suit on and go perform, we could put it on in like 10-15 minutes.
How long did it take to shoot the movie?
6 weeks.
Well, that's all the questions I have.
Yeah.